Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Kanushi's Corner. Today I have the Peace Offering Bloomburrow Commander deck here to open up. It's pretty cool. Last I checked on TCG Player, it is about $42, and according to both Moxfield and MTG Goldfish, it's anywhere from like $100 to $110 in collector value for that price, so that's pretty cool. It's got this cute bunny on it. Her name is Miss Bumbleflower. I'm absolutely enamored with all of the rabbit stuff from Bloomburrow. I think it's so great. Finally, rabbits is a thing. So with this one, of course, Commander, you battle your friends in a multiplayer format. For this one, you win friends and influence players with Miss Bumbleflower, who encourages a defensive, diplomatic approach over just big attacks. Gift special perks to your new allies while building up +1/+1 counters, and watch the table crumble under your kindness. Miss Bumbleflower herself manages Three Tree City's most popular inn, as well as its pot of never ending stew, quote unquote. I don't want to ask. All travelers are welcome. So let's get into it. Every time. Alright. Well, tried to be cool, but it didn't work. So, what does the cute thing say, though? Okay, here we go. More bunny, more problems. Don't I know it? Don't I know it? Put this over here. Alright, so we have the collector booster. We'll get to that. Cute deck box. I'm really glad they've started making the deck boxes flip in like this instead of the little thing that would close on the outside. The little outside flaps, just they didn't do anybody any favors. They didn't do anybody any favors. A lot of mine have broke. We've had to use tape to fix them, but yeah, solid little deck box. Nothing else in the insert. All your counters that you're going to need should be on this. So we've got the deck here, a little insert sheet. And, yep, so 6 counters, 2 little things on the front to maybe mark like command zone, graveyard, whatever. I'll pop those out in a little bit. Let's get to the insert. There's that art again. I like that they've started really putting the art on both sides. We'll get to the other side in a second. Graceful, gracious, and generous, Miss Bumbleflower is the owner and proprietor of Three Tree City's most popular inn and its signature pot of never-ending stew. This utterly massive, here we go, we're getting answers. This utterly massive cauldron sits on the hearth at all times, where guests are free to take from and add to it as they see fit. Okay then, Miss Bumbleflower can be found tidying up the inn or striking up a friendly conversation on a grocery run. Even the most hardened and rambunctious guests dare not offend her, either because of her kind nature or the fear of offending everyone in town. Miss Bumbleflower inherited the inn from her mother, a retired pirate, okay, that's all right, who founded the establishment as a safe place for animal folk to rest. To this day, Miss Bumbleflower is frequently visited by her mother's friends, who regale her with adventurous stories of the past and even help out around the inn. It's perhaps because of these burly and protective friends that Mr. Foxglove has a hard time courting her. Not that Miss Bumbleflower realizes. Yeah, so that's a funny thing for anybody who... We'll get to that. I'll go into the deck more. But if you understand what, Zootopia, basically... I mean, she's not Judy Hopps. She's Miss Bumbleflower. But the same relationship her and Mr. Foxglove have is apparently akin to Judy and Nick from Zootopia. I think that's a fun connection I've seen people make. So here we go, playing the deck. Like it says on the back, you'll never meet a more generous rabbit in all of Bloomburrow than Miss Bumbleflower. Turn your opponents into allies by giving them extra cards. Build up your defenses with 1/1 counters while everyone's arguing over who's your real best friend and poring over their many resources, all courtesy of you. Use the new gift mechanic to spread the love even more, all while reaping additional benefits. If you're lucky, you might even get to pull off an alternate win condition. Okay. There's alternate win cons in this. Cool. Probably. I remember seeing a card, something about more uh, more like cards in hand, have a bunch of cards in hand, win. But yeah, now we're gonna get to opening this little thing. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and unwrap this thing. Oh goodness, the pull tab is always. You know, what's the point in having fingernails? There we go. That's the point in having fingernails. What's the point in having pull tabs? There we go. Got it. So, here we have the Bumbleflower in all her glory. Whenever you cast a spell, target opponent draws a card, put a 1/1 counter on target creature. It gains flying until end of turn. This is the second time its ability is resolved. You draw 2 cards. So, there's a lot of really good stuff. And then here's Mr. Foxglove. Whenever he attacks, you draw cards equal to the number of cards in defending player's hand minus the number of cards in your hand. Come on, camera. If you didn't draw cards this way, you may put a creature from your hand onto the battlefield. So, it's good stuff. And then here is the Tameo in it. Bunmeo, as I have called her. It's really good. Adjust the lights. I thought I had them. There we go. Really cute, hilarious, good stuff. So this version allows you to uptick, choose 2 target creatures until your next turn. Whenever either of those creatures deals combat, draw cards. So you don't even have to target your stuff. You can target if someone's been picking on you or doesn't like what you're playing or doing. You can pick those creatures that they control, and then you still draw a card whenever they deal combat damage. Also, you can downtick 2 to tap 2 target non-land permanents, and they are essentially exerted. They're stunned. They don't untap during their controller's next untap step. Now, the downtick 7's really great because her ult draws you 3 cards, and then you get an emblem with omniscience, essentially, because it allows you to cast spells from your hand without paying their mana costs. So if you can stick this around and keep it on board, which is kind of easy to do if you can fly under the radar by helping everybody by giving them a bunch of cards and value. But yeah, this can get you there all by itself. I love the animalification of a lot of stuff. So I'm just going to go through it real quick. We have Tenuous Truce. This one's a 2 mana enchantment aura where you enchant your opponent. At the beginning of enchanted opponent's end step, you both draw a card, and whenever you attack enchanted opponent or a planeswalker they control, or when they attack you or a planeswalker you control, you sacrifice this. Lorn of the Third Path. So you can, when it enters, destroy stuff that's removal, and then you can give people cards. Great. Steelbird Champion. Whenever an opponent casts a non-creature spell, you put a 1/1 counter on this. So there's a lot of good stuff here and there. I'm going to do this way. There's a lot of cards to go through. This, one of my new favorite cards, Tempt with Bunnies. Draw a card, create a 1/1 rabbit. Then each opponent can do the same. And for everybody who does, you draw a card and make another rabbit. So you get a bunch of rabbits, they get a bunch of rabbits. There's bunnies everywhere. It's great. Create 4 2/2 birds. You can give someone an extra turret. Okay, that could be a little detrimental. If the gift was promised, all permanents you control phase out until your next turn. Your life total can't change. Okay, so this is like sort of Teferi's protection, but extra expensive. And if you give someone a turn, so that's cool. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, they just put all the rares up front this time. Sometimes it's like that. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, put a 1/1 counter on Sunscorched Regent, and you gain a life. It's pretty good. Promise of Loyalty. I've seen this one in several decks. You put a Val counter on a creature, sacrifice everything else, Each of those creatures can attack you or planeswalkers you control for as long as it has that Val counter. So it's a really good way to reset the board. Love that. Hoof prints of the stag. Whenever you draw a card, you may put a hoof print counter on hoof prints of the stag. Remove 4 hoof print counters from it and create a, yeah, well, not even a stag. Okay. Elemental creature token with flying. Great. Kind of like a stag. Mangara the Diplomat, another good one that you can give out draws, get draws. Realm Cloak Giant. I like I love sorcery cards, especially one that destroys all non-giants and is vigilant. That's pretty cool. Hey, Sphinx. My spouse loves these. Whenever Sphinx of Enlightenment enters, target opponent draws a card, and you draw 3 cards. So, yeah, lots of good give out the party stuff. You're just giving out all kind of great stuff. Whenever anyone casts a spell, you may put a 1/1 counter. Beginning of your upkeep, you can move 1/1 counters from this onto other creatures. That's decent. It's a cool little 4-drop. I like that. This is a dangerous new card. Bloodroot Apothecary right here. It it's the meanest nice thing ever. Yeah, it gives people treasures, and then if people use sacrifice non-creature tokens, then they get 2 poison counters. So yeah, that's an alternate win con. I'm gonna love putting that in every poison thing ever. Uh, Whenever this is a cool communal brewing. What's going on with the camera there? Really, I don't know. Remember, if you like what you see and like the way I do things, don't forget to donate. I could maybe get a better one. Whenever this enters, any number of target opponents each draw a card. Put an ingredient counter on communal brewing, then put an ingredient counter on it for each character who drew a card. Whenever you cast a creature spell, it enters with X additional 1/1 counters, where the ingredient counters you have. Oh man, that's a lot of 1/1 counters potentially. That's cool. That's a cool new 1/1 counter card. Trample. Whenever a player casts a spell, put a 1/1 counter on this. 3 mana Hydra. It's a neat Hydra right there. I know this guy. Whenever he enters, put a 1/1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures. Each creature you control taps for mana. So that's cool. Get out a bunch of tokens. They all tap for green. You do more green stuff. At the beginning of each player's draw step, they draw an additional card. Each player can play an additional land. So this is an enchantment that nobody wants to go away. It's kind of cool. Tempt with Discovery. Search your library for a land and put it onto the battlefield. Each opponent may search their library for a land card and put it onto the battlefield. For each opponent who searches a library this way, search your library for a land card and put it onto the battlefield. Then each player who searches this way shuffles. So it's battlefield. Each opponent may search for land. So it's like a rampant growth for everyone, but if they all do it, so it's kind of like the bunny thing, but with oh no, it's any land card for a land card. Everybody can do the same. So okay, yeah, I like that. Tempt with Discovery indeed. Could potentially be four mana for 4 lands. Anyway, onto this Hydra. It's a 5 mana. It enters with 4 1/1 counters on it. Whenever it attacks, double the number of 1/1 counters on each creature you control. That is a solid 5 mana Hydra right there. So yeah, there's a lot of just go big 1/1 stuff in here, as well as gifting out, doing a lot of good stuff. So this will only ever be 3 mana. That's still good. I love this guy in 5 color decks. Super great. Yep. Simic Ascendancy. Oh, don't we all love that? You can pay in 3 to get power on stuff, and whenever 1 or more 1/1 counters are put on a creature you control, put that many growth counters on this. If it has 20 or more growth counters, you win the game. So yeah, there's another alt win con. We got a couple of them so far. Got stuff full of those. There's a Gira Pure Ori. It's 4 mana. More extra land, good stuff at the beginning of each player's upkeep. If they have no cards in hand, they get to draw 3 too. So it's a bunch of really good group hug fun stuff. Oh, this guy, yeah. So If you wanted to know what drawing all the cards for, it was for this Psychosis Crawler. Its power and toughness are equal to the number of cards in your hand, and if you draw a card, each opponent loses a life. So you really put work in all that card draw. Good stuff. Here's some lands. Add a card waste. Temple of Enlightenment. Seachrome Coast. Glacial Fortress. Hinterland Harbor. Ooh, Razor Verge Thicket. That's pretty cool. Flooded Grove. Some good filter stuff. This Exotic Orchard got me. My spouse pointed out to me when I really thought about it. I was like, oh, yeah, they're right. Because I don't, not to say Exotic Orchard is a bad card, but this art does what the land does a lot more justice, I feel like. Sky Cloud Expanse. Canopy Vista, Prairie Stream, Brushland, Temple of Mystery, Yavimaya Coast, Overflowing Basin, Sungrass Prairie, Sun Petal Grove. Now we're back to some cards. Triskaidekaphile. Yeah, I think I said that really good. Triskaidekaphile. You have no maximum hand size. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you have exactly 13 cards in hand, you win the game, and you can pay 4 to draw a card. Wonderful. I've heard of that card before. Great. Chasm Skulker. Whenever you draw a card, he gets a 1/1 counter, and if he dies, you make a bunch of squids equal to the number of 1/1 counters on him. Octomancer. You gift an octopus, and at the beginning of each instep, create a token that's a copy of target creature token that entered the battlefield this turn. So you can essentially give someone an 8/8 for 5 mana, get a 3/3 on the board for it, and then get an 8/8 yourself. So that's cool. This guy is one of the ones I've seen showcased as an alt win con. Also gives you a bigger hand size of 20, and whenever you attack with 2 or more creatures, put a 1/1 counter on 20 Toad. Really funny card name. And then you draw, and then if it attacks and you have 20 or more counters on it, or 20 or more cards in hand, you win. So that's cool. Intellectual Offering. Choose an opponent. You and that player each draws 3 cards. Choose an opponent. Untap all non-land permanents you control and all non-land permanents they control. So yeah, I get why it says everyone's going to argue to see who wants to be your best friend. Illusionist Gambit. Cast this spell only during the declare blocker step. On an opponent's turn, remove all attacking creatures from combat. Untap them. After this phase, there's an additional combat phase. Each of those creatures attacks. They can't attack you or planeswalkers you control. So it's kind of like goaded. It's kind of like it's goaded in more words. You know, it you stop everything and you can swing their board somewhere else. It's kind of cool. Body of Knowledge is power is equal to the number. So it's kind of like Psychosis Crawler in that way. You have no maximum hand size, and whenever it is dealt damage, you draw that many cards. Oh, that could be scary. Perplexing Test. This is a cool one. I've got this in a couple other decks. I got a lot of these in other decks. Anyway, return all creature tokens to their owner's hand. Return all non-token creatures to their owner's hand. Jolrael. Moanvuli Recluse. Wonderful. Yeah, when you draw your second card each turn, create a 2/2 cat. Good stuff, and you can beef everything up with that mana ability to the number of cards in your hand for power and toughness. Good stuff. For 6 mana, yeah, so if you got 20 cards in hand, 6 mana to give everything 20 power and toughness, that's pretty tight. Fisherman's Talent here. At the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library. You may reveal it. If it's a land, create a fish. If you revealed it, then draw a card. If you would create a fish, instead make a shark. If you would create a shark, instead create one of them 8/8 blue octopi. Cephalids. Except they're not cephalids anymore. They're octopi. Octopus. Whatever. Selvala Explorer returned. Another cool card. This one allows everybody to draw some cards and gain some life and add some green mana to their mana pool. It's pretty good. I like that. It's good in group hug stuff. I normally am not super crazy about it, but really good for group hug. Each player may draw a card. This is the former like if you want group hug fun rabbit stuff, now it's just a part of this apparently. So that's funny. You can still do things with this guy though. Each player may draw a card. Then for everyone who drew a card, they gain a life. So it's fun stuff. Coveted jewel. Here's a big mana rock that you pass around the table. Draws you cards on enter, so that's cool. Temple of Plenty, way down here. Weird. Generous gift, but with some new art. Swords to Plowshares, but with some new art. Secret Rendezvous, you and target opponent each draw 3 cards. Very cool. Baird Steward of Argive. It's a good, turns off attacking towards you. Like, oh, you want to be mean to me? But I'm the nice deck. You can't be mean to me. Offer you can't refuse. Really lovely 1 mana counter spell here. Especially with the treasure stuff earlier. You give them the treasure. Oh, what are you going to do? Use them and get 4 poison? Well, that brings you closer to losing. Wizard class, a really cool return of the classes here to see the Fisherman's Talent. Now this, and then there's a bunch of other classes. You have no maximum hand size. Whenever this becomes level 2, draw 2 cards. Whenever you draw a card, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. Using this, there's some really fun Simic shenanigans you could get up to, especially with the new Innkeeper's Talent card. Cultivate. The new Farseek that has art that is just it's just so cute. So cute. Look at him. He's looking out there. He's like, but adventure, it awaits. I love it. Broken Wings, destroy an artifact, enchantment, or creature with flying. I still think Carnivorous Canopy is better, but that's just me. Spore Frog, fog on a frog, on a log. Fog on a frog, on a log. Blowing smog. It really is all of those things, too. It's great. Wear Down. You can gift a card, destroy target artifact or enchantment, and if you promised the draw to someone, you destroy 2 instead. Very nice removal. Peerless Recycling. Gift a card, return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. Gift was promised. Instead, return 2 target permanents from your graveyard to your hand. Liking all the gift stuff. I really want to put, there's a Gerbil, Coiling Oracle. It's potentially get you a land or a draw. But there's a Gerbil, every time you gift, you draw a card. I don't know if he's in here. If not, it should be. I haven't got to it yet, maybe. But Riot Control, you gain 1 life for each creature your opponents control. Prevent all damage will be dealt to you this turn. So it's Fog, but with life gain. And for a little more mana. That's cool. Martial Impetus, you enchant a creature. Enchanted creature gets 1/1 and is goaded. And if it attacks, each other creature that's attacking one of your opponents gets +1/+1. That's cool. Yeah, here it is. Ta-da! Jolly Gerbils. Lovely. Yep, it's already in there. Don't even have to... Love these precons for that. They really are super... I looked over the list, so I watched some videos on them. I'm like, yeah, they're great. I pre-ordered mine way long ago just in hopes that they'd be good, but they're really, really great. This is gift a card, counter spell. The gift was promised. Counter target creature spell. And then if the gift was promised, it can be any spell. There you go. Thought Vessel, kind of mandatory. Ooh, the Arcane Signet looks cool. It's like a bat chest thing. Swiftfoot Boots. Felwar Stone. We're in the Artifacts package now. This Soul Ring is really cool. It's like a... I don't know. Makes me think of otter stuff. Mindstone. Thriving Heath. Need to replace that with, I don't know, anything really. Thriving Isle. Evolving Wilds. Thriving Grove. So we have all the thrivings. That's Terramorphic Expanse. Cool. Tutors. The Command Tower's art is really cool here. Reliquary Tower. It's a mainstay in any draws manner. Seaside Citadel. Another one that's like, it's good, but I don't know. And now we're to the basics. I'm just kind of thumb through the basics. We got all these beautiful plains, islands, forests, good stuff. It's really nice land base. Now the tokens, you get an elephant, Steelbird champion. Oh my gosh, that little rabbit knight. Okay. Uh, you can get another one, rabbit, bird. These tokens feel like more treated than and the poison counter. Let's see what's on the back. Another rabbit. I'm so glad you get so many. It's so cute. Shark, a cat. Dust cat. Why is it not focusing on it? Yeah, there we go. Shark, fish, cat. There's that 8 octopus. Squid. That ain't no octopus. That's a kraken. Anyway. So yeah. That's it. That's what you get with it. That's pretty cool. If you've made it this far, thanks for watching. I'm going to crack open that collector booster pack. And then we're going to call it a wrap. I really like this deck so far. I like that they have a group hug pre-con. I think it looks super great. I can't wait to try it out. It's going to be really, really cool. And here's to Miss Bumbleflower for existing. Thorn Vault Forager, really nice. Cool foiling on it. He kind of just like blends right into the background at a point. It's funny. He's a little mana dorky guy. That's really cool. You can forage and add some mana or add a green. Then we have Fell. Okay, great. This is murder, but for 2 mana. So that's cool. Yep. So that's it. This has been a really nice unboxing. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments below anything that I can improve on or anything y'all would like to see in addition to this. Thank y'all very much for watching, and until next time, have a good one. Hey everybody. So real quick, Future Chase here. I just wanted to say, since unboxing and doing the initial video, I got a chance to play Miss Bumbleflower, and it was great. It was a lot of fun. It was probably some of the most fun I've had in a game, because I kind of just got to sit back, give out value to everybody, and help kind of, like, if someone was becoming the problem, help the other people catch up while also building my own board state. And one player at the table was very opposed to me playing group hug and was kind of picking on me at first, and I got to get some value out of the Tameo from me. He wanted to hit me. I'd already made his one creature he was hitting me with. It had Skulk. I had given it the ability, so he got to hit me, but I drew a card. And then eventually I got the Tameo out, and nobody really interacted with it. So I got to do the ultimate, which was great. I already had so many cards in hand, and I took the most ridiculous turn, and I couldn't seal the deal, so I passed. But, you know, everyone's like, oh, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? I'd already, in that turn, played out Simic Ascendancy, put out a bunch of other stuff, got it into 20 in that one turn, and then played the one spell Perch Protection, where I made a bunch of birds and then just phased out. So there was literally nothing they could do except, if they wanted, fight for second place amongst themselves, as I went and got a snack, and we reset for game 2. It was really, really silly, and I super duper enjoyed it. It was really good. I look forward to playing it again. Well, y'all have a good one. Thanks for watching the video. Let me know what y'all think. Give me a like, all that good stuff. Hope y'all enjoyed it. And until next time, have a good one. Thanks for watching.